We're now going to go into how to set up a project. Now, the reason setting a project is so important is because it creates the hierarchy or the structure for where you place your files and how Maya looks for them. In order to do this, you can come up to the top and go File, Project Window. And in the project window, we're going to create a new project. So in order to do that, I come over here and select New. This then opens it up. I can give it a name, so I will call this 3D_1, and I'll do another _1. In general, you don't want, and I have a symbol in there, you don't want symbols or even dashes. If you're going to have anything between letters and numbers, use an underscore. Definitely no periods anywhere in your naming structure. Once I have a name, I can also go to the location. By default, it puts it under my Documents Maya somewhere in the projects, but I prefer to work on the desktop. You can put it wherever you want. You simply select the folder here and then click through and find where you want to put it. So select whatever folder you want to put this project into. For me, I select Desktop and then hit Select. And so it's going to create this 3D1_1 project under the desktop. Now I leave everything else the same for right now because this is going to create and then assign the links to these folders for me to use in the future. But as you advance in 3D modeling and you start learning a little bit more about the structures and the directories, and you find areas that you may or may not need, you can actually remove some of these or change the names for them. So for right now, I'll click Accept. And so it's created the project. Now, in order to show this, I'm going to create a little sphere here. And I will save this as a scene. So the Maya files, or the scenes, save as a .mb file. You can also save it as an ASCII. But in general, for these videos, we'll just be saving as a .mb file. For those of you at home who may be not working on a full version of Maya or an educational version of Maya, you may have a copy of something called Maya Lite, which is like a streamlined version of Maya that's a little bit less expensive. Those files save as a .lt file. So however you save it, save the Maya file out. So I'm doing a new scene. So I go File, Save Scene As. And by default, you see it's already set it up to save within that project directory. So it's under the desktop 3D1_1 under the scenes folder. And so here I can give it a name. I will just call this sphere. And once again, the file of type ASCII or binary. So in this case, I'm saving it as an MB or a Maya binary file, and I'll hit save. I'm now going to create a new scene. So File, New Scene. And you see the sphere disappeared because I've created a new scene. So it's all empty. For this one, I'm going to put in a cube, and I will go File, Save Scene As. And once again, the directory is already there, and you can see the sphere that I just saved. This time I will call it Cube and hit Save. And so if I want to open a scene, I can File, Open Scene. And once again, because the project's set up, it's going to pull from the directory, so cube or sphere. So I'm going to actually cancel that. I'm now going to create a new scene again, but I'm going to actually create a second project just to show you how this works. So I go File, Project Window. By default now it's set to go to the desktop because that's where I created the last project. This time I'm going to create new, and I will call this one 3D_1_2. And I will keep all the default settings and hit Accept. So it saves to my desktop. Now if I go File, Open Scene, you see that everything's empty because it's under the new project directory. So I'm going to create a cylinder right now, and I will call this one Cylinder. So File, Save Scene. And I will hit Save. So I go to open a scene, and that's the only Maya file that's there. Now, if I want to have another project set up, because there may be times where you're working between different projects. You may have, for example, an alley project that you're working on where you're trying to build up an alley, and you may have another project that you're using for a video game level that you're working on. You're going to want different projects for different things, so you don't have just one project that gets overburdened with a lot of different files. So if you need to switch between projects, you can go File, set project. And so I look under the desktop and I simply track down which project I want it to be. So I select that folder, the 3D1_1, and I can hit set. And now when I go File, Open Scene, you see I now have access to the cube and the sphere. So please use the structures that are in place. The hierarchy system helps you get things organized, and it helps things to be a lot more clean as you progress. So get used to creating projects, setting projects, as well as saving scenes. And we'll end the video for there now.